Hi, we're about to go live on my other channel. It's when I'm watching the episode of General Hospital when Laura is on trial for murdering somebody. This is March of 1979. And unfortunately, something called work was getting in my way of watching General Hospital that year. So I'm going to watch this here, even though I caught little bits and pieces back then. I don't remember who Laura was supposed to have murdered, but I know Bobbie is excited as heck and hoping that Laura will be put into reform school when she gets found guilty for this. And Luke is taking classes at State College. And Scotty, of course, is still on Laura's side, believing she's innocent. And Lucy Coe is married to Jeff Weber. And Jeff is, of course, being duped by Lucy. And Lucy has lost that first baby, and now she's hiding something. The doctor wants her to be very careful, and he doesn't know about what, but we're going to find out. So let's go live on NancyGurish.com or the Nancy Gurish channel. You're the behind the scenes. Hi, everybody. This is Nancy later in the afternoon, and this is my General Hospital episode. And I just watched some of it. It's a March 1979 rare find. It's when, okay, now I don't remember because I had to work at that time in that year. So I only caught parts of the General Hospital episodes. Oops. Make sure that. Okay, I want to make sure my sound went through. This is Nancy, and it's the General Hospital episode. This is a March 1979 rare find where Laura is on trial for murdering somebody, or she's being investigated for murdering somebody at the disco. Luke is taking classes at State College, and Bobbie is all excited, waiting and hoping that Laura will be sent to reform school. And then she is going to seduce, she's got plans of seducing Scott Baldwin because he's a man, and she's going to remind him that she's there. And what else is going on in this episode is Rick and Leslie Weber are getting separated. They're just about to do that. And then that's, of course, they're the parents of Laura. So they're getting ready to tell Laura that her court case is today. And Lucy is seeing Jeff out the door, and he's asking her about something. The doctor sent some sort of message to her to be very careful. And she's saying, she's being very cagey. She's saying, you know how the doctor is. She's very cautious, especially with me. And he's saying, I'm glad about that. And, she has Jeff totally duped. I remember that much. And Scotty's, of course, completely in the dark. He's with their friend, Brian. Brian is visiting Scotty, and Scotty's getting ready to go to court now. Scott's father is an attorney, but he can't represent Laura because of some other thing going on. So there's a lawyer, I can't remember his name, but let's find out. So this opens up this episode. There's a link in the description below to this episode. Leslie's in bed and Rick's coming out of the bathroom, and they're separated. So here's the scene. Rick comes to the door. He's going to say that it's unusual asking permission to come into his own house or into his own bedroom. Leslie's getting out of bed. She's very pretty. Remember Leslie Weber? Rick walked in the door. She's putting her nightgown on, and she's very sexy. He says, it seems a little strange asking permission to come into our own bedroom. As strange as it does to her, she says, was that somebody important on the phone? I guess he was in the house. The official call that Lee told them to expect, Lee Baldwin. Laura's hearing will be at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And I can't remember who she's on trial for murdering. They didn't want to tell her about it last night because she would have just been as sleepless the night as Leslie did. So protective of Laura. Rick didn't sleep much himself either. But they do have to tell her. I mean, the court case is at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They're just going to tell her now. If only he could have gotten the bartender to tell the truth. Now, the bartender, for some reason, is involved with somebody else lying about Laura. I think she had left the place where this person was murdered, but she had been holding hands with somebody in there. And remember, she's married to Scott. And I think Laura's supposed to be about 16 years old because they're expecting her to go to reform school, maybe 17. Okay, after Rick went to bed after she went to bed, Rick called Scotty and they're going to get a hold of someone named Lou Proctor. Convince him to tell the truth. That he tricked Laura into coming to the table. And they want to discredit the bartender's testimony and then give credibility to Laura, I think. He says, wasn't he suspicious when you told him your name? He made the appointment in Scotty's name. She says, I hope you can do it. I cannot remember who that Proctor guy is. I hope you can make him tell the truth, she says. The evidence is really stacked against her, and Rick says, because if she goes in there with the evidence stacked against her as it is, I guess it looks pretty bad for her. He's worried about the outcome. I just thought Leslie was so pretty. There's the music, it's starting up, violins. Oh, he walks out the door. Now that, okay, we're in Scott's apartment. Scott Baldwin, he's pacing the floor. He's with his roommate, Brian, and he's really upset. He's pacing, and Brian says, Scotty, walking back and forth isn't going to make time go any faster. This is his best friend, Brian. So why don't you just go over to Laura's right now? I can't, Brian, because I'm waiting for Howard so we can go over there together. Howard, I believe, is the attorney. Brian says, you know, it's a shame that you and Howard Lansing couldn't break that bartender down. So, yeah, tell me about it. Brian, I got to find out why he's lying and who's trying to set Laura up. Otherwise, she's going to be in big ding-dong. The doorbell rang. That's Howard. I'll get it. I like that apartment. Howard came in. Oh, Scotty's going to get his coat. He says, come on in. He's the lawyer. He says hi to Brian. Brian says, I'm doing fine, Mr. Lansing. Scotty and I were just talking about it, and Scotty interrupts and says, now, Brian, listen. I'm sorry, but I haven't talked to Laura yet this morning. I know she's going to be worried that I haven't called. Brian yells, good luck to both of you, okay? And they go out the door. He goes back to Leslie. She says, Howard's gone to pick up Scotty. They'll be here soon. Rick says, good. She has a nice house. I wish we had more time, Leslie says. Laura's going to come in and she's going to overhear this. Rick says, I'm sure Judge Stallman is concerned about the incident the other night. They're kind of pacing in the living room talking. She's got big hair. It's getting on the 80s. You know, this is 1979. Oh, Rick says, I wonder if he hadn't already reached his decision till this happened. This is going to affect what he decides. Something happened the other night. Just, what is Laura going to do? When we tell her, now Laura's come in. She's got this plaid skirt on and like a blazer jacket and a yellow blouse, 1979. Her hair is long and a blonde, still parted down the middle. This is the end of the 70s. Look at this back. When you tell me what, Laura walks up. She looks like such a kid, Jeannie Francis. Now the introduction music, da, 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 with the ambulance coming in. General Hospital comes up on the screen. It's nice, good stuff. You go back in Leslie's house. Rick says, your mom and I have been talking. We need to talk to you, Laura. But before we do, I'd like you to promise me something first. Promise you what? That you'll just listen and don't get upset and jump to any of the wrong conclusions. What happened? Will you please tell me? Please stop torturing me like this. Okay, Laura interjects. Leslie interjects. All we need is what we're going to tell you may shock you at first, but if you'll just be patient and hear it out, then you'll find that it really is better this way. What is better? We called Judge Stallman last night and found out that your hearing is scheduled for 4 o'clock today. 4 o'clock? I keep spitting. Rick, honey, by tonight it'll all be over. And so will everything else. My fresh start at States. Scotty, it's all going to be over. They're going to send me away. Leslie's like, no, don't think that. Please don't think that. Why not? That's what you're thinking. I can see it. I can see it in your eyes. You're as scared as I am. Rick says, Laura, Howard is coming over here right now. He'll sit down and talk with you and go over details in case Judge Stallman wants to know about the other night. She says, in case? Dad, that's the only reason he wants to see me today. Rick says, Laura, Judge Stallman is trying to review your case and have a final decision in 6 months. The 6 months are up now. And how convenient for all of them that I broke my curfew. And I went out to that nightlife cafe just before they made the terrible mistake of letting Laura Weber to go free to contaminate the innocent people of Port Charles. Now, Laura, this is Leslie, the judge and Mr. Higgins have always been very fair with you. And they're not going to want to see all the wonderful progress you've made over the past 6 months go for nothing. But the people who read the Chronicle do. They've been waiting for it ever since that one woman started writing all those stories about me. Rick says, honey, those stories will stop too once you've seen the judge, but Laura probably knows the truth about something. Oh, I know that. And what a perfect ending to all her stories. Laura Weber, from courtroom to campus to reform school. She's crying on Leslie's shoulder. Okay, Bobbie and Lou, zoom into Bobbie and Luke at Bobbie cannot stand Laura, you know. And Luke's wearing glasses. Somebody in the comments said they think he looks like Elton John. He's got big round glasses on and like an Argyle sweater or something. He's taking classes at State College. Bobbie's in her house coat. She's got that Bobbie look on her face. Scott says, would you mind telling me what that stupid smirk is all about? What's so damn funny? You, Joe College. She's laughing at him. He's got his hair combed down. He's got a real bad receding hairline, you know. He's got a sweater on over a shirt, you know, a high-necked sweater, cable knit. He says, hey, look, I don't look at you because you take nursing school. So I'd appreciate it if you didn't laugh at me. Because I take a few courses at college. Looks like a student all clean cut, you know. Look, it's not the courses. It's the way you look. And then she gives that Bobbie laugh. She's so funny. She's so cute. All dressed up in your crew neck sweater and your little corduroy pants and your hair all neatly combed. He's looking at her like this. She says, I wouldn't be surprised if you started wearing these saddle shoes and a raccoon coat. If that's what the other college dudes are wearing, baby, that's what I'll wear. Since when do you do what everybody else does? Never, he says. He takes off his glasses. I never do what everybody else does. But I can give that impression if I need to. Listen to this line. I can do, be, or wear anything necessary to get what I want. Do you understand? Sure. She's so cagey. She freaks out in the layout. Oh, he's exact. What now? Luke, if you should happen to run into Laura Weber on campus today, would you give her a message for me? Would you please tell her that I know how much she's enjoyed the first 2-3 weeks of college and how much she's going to miss it all in reform school. But in 20 or 30 years, when they parole her for good behavior, she could always go back to state as a senior citizen. That was funny. And take night courses. Oh, that's funny. That is so funny. She says, where's your sense of humor this morning? Are you on something today? She says, no, I'm just happy. Finally, after all our months of planning. You see that little brat get hers. I can't stand her. Our months of planning? Our planning? She says, I helped. So he's been behind it. He goes, you helped yourself to my buddy Roy Dalucca. That's how you helped. She goes, oh, Luke, I almost forgot to tell you. Last night we went to dinner, and after that we went over to some like cafe. And guess what? Oh, this is what Laura did last night. You ran into Higgins? No, we almost ran into Scotty and Howard Lansing. Howard's the lawyer, and I'm sure he's representing Laura while Scotty's father is recuperating. Says, well, what are they doing here? She says, well, let me finish. When I saw them walk in, my heart almost stopped because I knew that if they saw me there, they would have figured that I engineered the whole thing. He says, that's right, I told you. I warned you about that. I told you, stay out of that place. She says, I know, but luckily Roy knew where the back door was. So we sneaked out before they saw us. But guess what? What else? As you were sneaking out, Laura was sneaking in. No, Luke. Before we left, Harry, the bartender, told us that he and the guy that Higgins caught Laura holding hands with have been called to testify against Her Majesty today. He says, well, that can't hurt. Can't hurt, Luke. Once Judge Stallman hears all about sweet little Laura's escapades at the nightlife cafe, he's going to pick up that phone so fast and call that reform school and have them send over a squad car to straight jacket. Bobbie wants her to go to reform school bad. She says, I mean, can't you just see the scene? Little Laura screaming for her mother as poor Charles' tough matrons drag her off by the hair. Scotty waving bye-bye, Luke says. She says, oh, I wish I could be there to see it. She says, well, I'm sorry, baby, but I think that's one bon voyage party you will not be invited to. Well, Scotty's not going to be invited to Laura's welcome home party either. Not if I have anything to say about that. To whose welcome home party? Luke says, oh, yeah? How are you going to fix that one? Luke, Scotty is a normal, healthy guy. He's not going to wait for her forever. You know. He says, oh, I get it. So you're going to help him through those normal, healthy, long, lonely nights. She says, yeah. Once I have a chance to remind him of how compatible we used to be and all the fun we used to have. He's not going to have any lonely nights. Or days either. The scene closes there. I think we'll take off right here, and I'll see you all tomorrow. I cannot wait to find out who it was that Laura was supposed to have murdered and how she was really involved in this, because she had to have been involved somehow. It's going to make her come out bad with Scott Baldwin, and you know that because she's always tricking Scott. Scott's always thinking he can believe her again, and she's always proving to him, no, you can't trust me, Scott, because I'm Laura Baldwin. And Bobbie's going to be disappointed when she gets off. She'll probably get off the hook, and Bobbie's going to try to make her mark with Scott Baldwin, but you don't know what she might get. She might get her hooks into him. She's Bobbie. She's hot. See you all. Peace. That was cool, huh, Buttercups? I really am. I miss those shows. General Hospital. The soap operas are fun. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.